So today's video is going to be a review, a swatch video, all about the brand new JACLYN Cosmetics launch. As you guys know, so many of you guys, so heavy, hold on. So many of you guys have been DMing me, tweeting me, saying you really wanted me to review the new JACLYN Cosmetics holiday collection. Her brand new collection, I think, launches very soon. So this whole collection will be launching soon, and there's actually so many things. I just got hair in my lip gloss. There are actually so many things in this collection, but it is all based around highlighters. So you have 3 different highlighter formulas and 3 different brushes to use with these highlights. And I personally think it's really exciting. Highlight is definitely JACLYN's thing, and I do really appreciate the fact that there are so many shades in this range. You have 3 different highlighter formulas, and you get like 5 different shades within each formula, which is really, really nice. I am gonna go into swatches, prices. I'm gonna test some of these on my face, what I think are pros and cons, just, you know, the whole enchilada. I think after what happened with her lipsticks, it must have been a really huge wake-up call for her, and I'm assuming that she has really invested into quality control and just making sure moving forward that nothing slips through the cracks. At least that's what I'm assuming. I do believe she's trying to right her wrongs and fix everything and just move forward. I don't really know about the refunds. I know she made a statement that she gave everybody their refunds already, and I'm assuming that's the case. So many things go on behind the scenes that we don't know about, so I don't want to like talk on something I don't know about, but I'm assuming she's working with a manufacturer she trusts better, and that moving forward things will be okay. At least that's the hope I have for her brand and for her subscribers and her customers. And yeah, I just wanted to say that before I get started on this review. So yeah, let's dive in. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this packaging, like initially when I saw everything, I was like, oh, I wish they weren't loose highlighters like this. Because I honestly just prefer a pressed highlighter. It's so much easier to use. When you're dealing with something like this, you have to open the cap. It's like a whole process. It can get a little bit messy, but ever since I discovered the Artist Couture highlights that are in the jars, I have a new appreciation for loose highlights. Some formulas just work better when they're not pressed, and I have realized that. So I know it bums a lot of you out that 2 of these formulas are loose. If you're someone who is not into loose highlighters at all, you don't care how magical they are, she does have these pressed options. Okay, so let's begin, shall we? I'm actually gonna start off with the highlighter formula that I'm most excited about, and that is the Mood Light highlighter. One thing I will say that I don't like is that these powders are actually labeled differently than she describes them. Like, for example, I had to go back to her video because I remember her calling these the Mood Light highlighters. She even has it in her description box, but on the actual packaging, they're just called the Luminous powders. And these are the Beaming Light highlighters, but they are just described as loose highlighters on the packaging. Not that that matters, but I'm just saying. I also wish these had the names on the packaging as well. Like, these are called the Accent Light Highlighter Palettes. And this one is the Flare and this is the Flash, but it just says the Flare and the Flash. Like, it doesn't tell you it's an Accent Light Highlighting Palette. And again, that doesn't really matter, but I just wish those names were on the packaging. So I want to test out one of the Luminous powders, and I don't know if I want Do Me or Brighten Up. I am gonna really quickly though insert swatches of this formula just so you can see how it looks on my skin. These powders are supposed to be the ones that give you that lit from within glow. It's not gonna give you a beaming highlight. It's just supposed to make you look naturally glowy and like your skin has a soft radiance to it. Okay, so I'm gonna take the brush that JACLYN recommends you use with this specific formula, but of course you can use these brushes with whichever formula you want. By the way, I do really like the packaging on this. I love the frostiness, like it feels very luxurious and expensive, and I also really love these brushes. I love this like silvery holiday glittery effect that fades down. It's so pretty, and the brushes are synthetic, which is really nice, and they feel really soft. So I think I'm gonna try a little bit of Do Me. I actually have a lot of dewiness on my face right now because I'm testing out a new foundation from Zoeva. I bought it off of Ulta and I'm testing it out. So I just shook the tub a little bit and some of it came up, and now I am swirling my brush in here, and I'm just gonna run some of that on my face. I like that it's not too luminous. I thought I was gonna start rubbing this on my face. Yeah, I figured it was gonna give me a lit from within type of glow, but I thought it would be more glowy than this, and I'm glad that it's not. Have you guys ever tried the loose powder from Lancome? It's in a similar packaging to this, and it has like that radiance factor to it. It does give you that lit from within glow as well, but the Lancome one is a little bit too intense for me. It's a little too highlighting, too glowy. I have it in my powder drawer right now, but I honestly use that as like a highlighter. It's a little bit too intense to just like rub all over the face, kind of like what I'm doing with this one. So I really like that. I like that it is a very subtle glow. That honestly is so pretty. You can tell that it mattified my skin a bit because obviously it's a powder, but it gave it a really beautiful glow. And my skin feels completely set. I really like that. I'm gonna try actually a little bit of Brighten Up in the same way, but I'm gonna focus this one just on the cheekbones just in case it's a little bit more intense than Do Me. Okay, I'm kind of feeling like I have applied too much. Now I have like this like white, cloudy looking skin right here. But it is such a nice formula, and I feel like this would be perfect for you if you have dry skin or even if you have oily skin because of this formula. A similar highlight to this that's actually a pressed version is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. It actually reminds me a lot of this one. It's just pressed and you can get that at the drugstore, I believe, or like Ulta. Okay, so now I'm gonna dive into the Flash palette. This is the Accent Light Highlighter palette, and this is the lighter one out of the two. And actually, when I got this package in the mail yesterday, I popped on the shade Iced right before I walked out the door. I was going to a birthday party yesterday, and I wanted to use one of these highlighters specifically because when I first opened my package and I started swatching everything with my fingers, this formula seemed very, very thin in a good way, don't get me wrong, but I kind of thought that maybe it wasn't gonna be super long wearing because of that super thin formula, and it actually really was. I wore it all day yesterday, and when I went to wash my face at the end of the night, my highlight was still on. This palette is perfect for those of you that have light to medium skin tones. I do like the shades in this, and I do really, really like the formula. It is a baked formula, so it just looks a lot more natural on the skin. And personally, I also feel like this gives you a lit from within look, but a lot more intense than this. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Iced, and I'm gonna use it on this brush. This is the J02, and it's the Accent Light Highlighter brush. So I'm gonna take a little bit of Iced right here. This one's my favorite one, and I'm just gonna tap the excess. That is so, wow. Wow, this shade is so pretty. I like to apply my highlight in circular motions, like towards the end, just because I feel like it buffs everything into the skin and it helps blend it. It honestly makes you look literally wet. It's so freaking gorgeous. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of Mesmerized because I wanna see how this one looks on my skin. It's the deepest one. Maybe towards the back. So juicy, so glossy. I love it. Wow, that is chef's kiss for sure. This brush is actually really, really nice. It deposits the perfect amount of highlight, and it's the perfect size and shape. I love brushes like this to highlight. It reminds me a lot of the Milani highlighting brush. This is like a limited edition holiday one from Milani, but it's very similar in shape, and I love highlighting with this. It's also really similar to my Eco Tools highlighter brush that I love so much. Only this one like tapers at the top, it comes to a point, but these kinds of brushes give you a beautiful highlighter application. Yeah, I'm really into this, and I also really appreciate that I can use every shade in this palette. I'm into that, I'm into that. I do think the packaging is a little bit bulky. Of course, I'm just getting really picky in this review and giving you like every little detail and everything I think in my head. I wish it was a little skintier, a little bit skintier, so that it's not too chunky, but I mean, it's not a big palette, so it doesn't matter. Like, that's not gonna make or break my decision because it's still gonna fit the same way in my travel bag, even if it was thinner. You know what I mean? Okay, and then the last formula to test out is the loose highlighter, the Beaming Light Loose Highlighter. I don't know if I should use Extra or Balm. Extra looks crazy. So maybe I'm gonna go with Balm. I think they're all gonna be really intense. I'm gonna take a little bit on my cap. JACLYN mentioned that she liked using this highlight like at the very tippy tops of her cheekbones because it was a little bit too intense to just apply everywhere. So I am gonna take the other brush she has in this collection. This is the J03 Beaming Light Highlighter Brush. It's just a tiny, tiny, tiny little fan brush. And I gotta be honest, out of all of these brushes, this one is my least favorite just by looking at it. Only because the only reason I ever picture myself using this brush is for this reason, like to just highlight the very tippy tops of my cheeks. But I also feel like I can do that with this brush, you know? I don't feel like I need both of these. With this, I can just take a little bit, like right here on the edge, like that, and just target this area right here. And I don't think it'll be too much. Of course, this gives you a more specific, precise application, but I just don't see myself using this for any other reason. So I don't know. So I'm gonna swirl my brush in here and let's apply. Wow. Wow, this is what I'm talking about. I immediately feel the need to put this brush down and use this one to like blend it out because the edges look a little bit harsh since I applied so much in that one spot. That was definitely my fault. I think I picked up too much on the brush, but oh my God, she wasn't playing around with this formula, let me tell you. I'm actually gonna apply a little bit more with this brush and see where I can take it. Oh, sweet heaven. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm actually gonna take it a step further and I'm gonna apply a little bit of extra at the very tippy tops, just because I want to see this color. I want to see how crazy this color is. Because Balm has like a very strong golden undertone. My cheek looks wild right now. It doesn't look good. I applied too much, and with this formula, she's right. It only works at the very top, like right here, because it's just too much. Actually, I'm gonna apply extra on this side, just to see how it compares with this highlight that's already super blinding. Oh my God. Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío. Dude, those highlights are not effing around. Okay, so obviously, just like JACLYN said, less is more with these. Honestly, if you don't use a light hand with this, you're gonna look crazy. You're going to look crazy. It's gonna look so unnatural that it is gonna look bad. So please make sure that you use a super light hand with these. Okay, so I just applied some setting spray off camera just so that it can melt these powders into my skin, because even though they're highlights, I still put a bunch of powder on my face. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of the shade Do Me that I used first, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did on this side of my face, on this side, because I feel like it helped smooth out this area right here. Even though I made it like dewy and luminous, it still helped smooth everything out. So I'm just applying some more. Okay guys, so that pretty much sums up this video. Honestly, I am very impressed. I didn't think I wasn't gonna be impressed, but they really are just as good as she says they are. They're really good highlights. I personally really enjoyed them. And I know looking at all of these can get really overwhelming, and you're probably like, oh my gosh, which one do I get? There's so many of them, I don't know which one to go with. Personally, my favorite out of the 3 formulas is the Accent Light Highlighter Palette. This formula is so smooth and buttery and just, oh my gosh, so beautiful. This is such a nice formula. I love that it comes with a mirror so you can travel with it, and it's not messy or anything because it is pressed. You don't have to open a cap or do anything like that. I really, really like this a lot. And I also appreciate the fact that there are 2 separate palettes, because I personally don't like single palettes that are supposed to target all skin tones. It just doesn't really make much sense unless you're a makeup artist, of course. When the Kat Von D contour palette came out, it was all the rage. Even me, I loved contour palettes, I loved bronzing palettes, but I just found myself only using half of the palette, and it was never worth it. So I like the fact that if you have light to medium skin tones, you can use all of these shades. And I really, really like the fact that if you have a deep skin tone, you can grab the Flare palette and use all of these shades, knowing all of these will work on you, you know? As for the brushes, I think they're really nice. They feel super good quality. They're very soft. The only one I'm not crazy about is this one, not gonna lie. I don't really use brushes like this. Even if I am gonna apply a highlight to the very top of my cheekbone, I will use a different brush. So this one personally is a pass for me. You know what? let's add some glow to my body. Why not? I'm actually gonna take the big brush because it's perfect for like body highlight. Let's try High Volt. Okay, so now that I've highlighted everything I possibly can, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video. Besides a few cons that I mentioned throughout this video, I think everything is really good. I really enjoyed everything and I definitely see myself using these products a lot. I know James Charles says that highlights are overdone. I'm kind of glad that she did highlights because it seems very Jaclyn, you know? But yeah guys, that completes this video. I hope you enjoyed these swatches, my review. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helped you out in some way. Make sure to leave me a comment down below letting me know if you plan on picking up this collection. Maybe you're just planning on picking up one item. What are you most interested in? Leave that in the comments below. But that completes this video guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already and I will see you in my next video. Bye. So it just looks a lot more natural. Natural.